Hey everyone, Ashley May and Mike Beer here with the Daily Racing Forum. The Sunday DRF Race of the Day is race number 3 out at Santa Anita. It's the Grade 3 Las Virgenes for 3-year-old fillies, a distance of 1 mile on the dirt. And in terms of runners in here, we're going to see 5 of them, Mike, and a couple of them out of the Bob Baffert barn, but some other horses that I think really kind of impressed last time out. That includes the 3 are Moonlight, as well as the number 2, Justice Fancy.
See how good some of them are. Yeah, 2, 3, even the other Baffert horse, the 5, who didn't get a figure but was visually impressive. I mean, we'll see how good they are because the number 4 Tenma, she's way the horse to beat.
Yeah, she'll be an extremely short price this Sunday out at Santa Anita. But we'll take a look at the time form US pace projections, which I feel like are always interesting, especially when you have a compact field. You never know what will happen. And not too often you see 3 horses kind of blanketed across here, including the 2 Justice Fancy, who was a gate to wire winner last time out at the mile distance, are Moonlight, 1 on debut. And then the 5 on the outside, Cipriani, who was forward at the 6.5 furlong distance back in October.
Yeah, the pace I thought was not the easiest thing to decipher. Too many lightly raced horses in here. Certainly Tenma, who's going to be favored in here. She's not a blazer, I wouldn't say, but she's going to be up close in this race. So we'll just see how some of these riders decide to play it.
I think it was easier to figure out who the closer in here is, and I agree with time form here with the LP flag, the late pace flag attached to the number 1, Lolo Le Plume, who will actually kick things off here with this filly, a daughter of Instilled Regard, who is a maiden entering this race. And as we take a look at her replay from this effort, she's going to finish 3rd in here. I felt like she was sort of even throughout. The race ends up being won by Justice Fancy, who she has to face again. And maybe she was against it, Mike, and the fact that Justice Fancy went all the way around the racetrack in front.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she did get wired in here, but it's not like it was a super slow pace. She does. I guess if you want to give her an excuse, Ashley, you would just say she's kind of stuck on the outside all the way around the track, so never really could get over to save any ground. She was trying really hard. They started hanging on her wrong lead all through the stretch. I don't know, man. I don't love either of her 2 dirt starts to date. I thought she was in tough again.
She at least has taken a little bit of a step forward since transitioning to the dirt surface in terms of figures, and she will race with blinkers off. Now, we saw the number 2, Justice Fancy, finally graduate there in that 3rd start. She took them gate to wire, and it was speed that she hadn't shown in the past. But I think the big difference there, Mike, and I think you'll agree, was stretching out from 6 furlongs to a mile.
Seems like it made a big difference. She was also first time Lasix, first time blinkers. And Pratt, when you go back and watch the full replay, he clearly had a plan there. I mean, he wanted the lead with her. He sent her to make sure that she got there. And it's not like, again, it's not like she walked on the lead. She went a relatively legitimate pace. The final fraction is really slow, but nobody could catch her because she had sort of run them all off their feet. It was a move in the right direction. I still wonder, how good she is, and she's got a race without Lasix this time.
The number 3 are Moonlight. She was able to score on debut. We'll take a look at her performance. And I think looking at the last out maiden winners, to me, she was the most impressive. She's on the outside here. She's going to mow down horses that are in front of her at this point, and she still draws clear. And her figure is the best set of those horses. We're talking about comparing her to the 3 and the 5 come Sunday. She gets a 73 for this effort.
This is good stuff here. I mean, she kept the pace and range. You could see around the turn that her rider could have just taken her out into the clear, but he didn't do that. He sort of kept her over behind horses until that field straightened away, and then he angled her out. And as soon as she saw daylight, she came running. She's bred to stretch out. We'll see, if this is the right spot to stretch her out in, Ashley, but it's not like she's facing a bunch of killers. She's got a big favorite to deal with, and I think she's probably better than all the other horses that she's running against. She's a very interesting horse in here.
And just worth mentioning, Dean Peterson, this meet at Santa Anita has been crushing it. 6 for 10 in terms of wins with 2 third-place finishes. Talked about it earlier, at least on paper and visually, the 4, Tenma, she is the horse to beat. We're not telling you anything new there. She's going to be the favorite. We don't have the morning line at this point now. With her, I guess the thing is she's going to cut back slightly, but when we go to her last out performance at Los Al, she wins it, I think, as she should have, but I think she gained a lot out of this race. We talk about this every time with Los Al. That stretch can be daunting on a horse, and for her, she was able to get the win, and she actually wasn't favored here.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, she's already a grade 1 and a grade 2 winner, so this is obviously a good spot for her. I don't remember after this race was over not loving it just because her and the runner-up looked forward. The pace was slow. They went forward together. It was, sort of slower early and faster late, and I was like, maybe neither one of them's as good as that race makes them look. And then Look Forward comes right back and wins a stakes race in her next start. She wasn't bothered by it. she's obviously, we're not going to tell you anything you don't already see on paper here. She's well spotted here, and she's way the horse to beat.
And then on the outside is her stablemate, the number 5, Cipriani, who you talked about earlier. Yeah, the figure is not flashy. The way that she did it, though, she won quite easily. She wins by 8 1/4 there. And unlike some of the Bafferts that we see, even at a sprint distance, 6 1/2, she was able to rate early, and she did not feel like she needed the lead. And I think that's something that is always nice to see from horses, the young horses out of the Baffert barn.
Yeah, maybe she just wants a little more ground too. I mean, she worked pretty hard chasing those horses around the turn in that race, but she leveled off nicely and won it. The race came back really slow. When you go back and look through it was only 4 other horses in there. When you go back and look through the ones that she ran against, especially the ones that have run back, it's not good. I mean, it feels like she beat a really, really bad field there in slow time. We'll see. Baffert, I don't know if he's got her in here just to make the race go, or if he thinks she's this good. I guess we'll find out.
That's the field of 5 for the Grade 3 Las Virgenes. We've done our homework. You can too. If you go on the DRF website, you can get free past performances for the race of the day every day here at DRF. And we're going to go in similar directions. I think you'll get the better price, certainly, out of the two, but you'll go to the number 3 here, our Moonlight, who really was impressive first time out.
Yeah, Tenma's probably going to win this race. I'm going to lose a few dollars on our Moonlight.
But we'll see. Never know what happens. It's horse racing for a reason. I went with Tenma. We spoke about it. She's a Grade 1 winner. Last time out, she was able to win at Los Al. I know there are things maybe to like and not like about the performance, but she did get an 83. So the horse that we use underneath, though, a little further is the 2, Justice Fancy. You said it, Mike. You really don't know how good she is. She looked pretty good last time out. 3-4-2 for Mike, 4-3-2 for me. It's a Sunday race of the day here at DRF, race number 3 at Santa Anita, the Las Virgenes. Good luck.